When you jump in, say hi. I started the video early because I have a tendency to talk too much. And I just wanted to get my thoughts out and have enough time for exercising and working on our core and pelvic floor. Oh, sorry, my computer was not muted. Um, yeah, so I don't know how you all are doing with the time change, but I do not love that it's dark already. Quite frankly, it did get me ready for bed or like help me start winding down way earlier. Like I took a shower, I washed my face, all the makeup's off. That's why I've got this like redness here. I've got like I'm ready for bed already and I'm in like comfy sweatpants and it's all good. But very interesting how the time change affects us. And some people are remarking on their animals, like getting up earlier and wanting to eat at different times. It's very disruptive. I wish we would stop doing it. They keep teasing us about it, right? They say, oh, yeah, we're going to do it. And then they don't. I don't know why that is. It's very interesting. But when you're in here, say hi. Open up the chat for you all. I'm not seeing anything on my computer. Hopefully, it's not me missing anything. Brenda said hi. Yay. Okay. Hi, Brenda. So glad you're here. You've been so consistent. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, you're crushing it. I hope you're feeling some changes. I hope you're like noticing, some things going on in your body that you're enjoying and liking, because that positive reinforcement is what's going to keep you going, noticing it. And then once other people start saying things to you, you're like, okay, I'm doing awesome. And it will happen, I promise. So, okay, for anyone who is new to the group, we have been doing this is our 10th class, which is crazy. Hi, Denise. Oh, hang on. I hope I said your name right because you're the first person I've met with two N's in that name. So just confirm I said that correctly. Um, But yeah, this is class number 10, which is wild. I don't know where the time goes. And that got me thinking about how we only have 8 more weekends left of 2025. And fun fact, this was the year of the snake in the Chinese New Year. And if you all know what snakes are like, they often shed their outer layer. And what that's doing is just like getting rid of the old, getting rid of things that they don't need anymore so that the new, beautiful, like fresh, scaly snake can thrive. So I challenge all of you to think about what you can shed from your life, from yourself, from your soul, from your spirit, from your emotions, from your physicality, from anything. Like see what you can shed and get rid of before the end of this year. That might be really cool because apparently we're moving into the year of the horse, and the horse is fiery. Like, it's got a lot of spirit and like spunk. So you need to get rid of the old to make room for that new, energetic, spirited horse. Um, oh, good, Denise. I figured it was a derivative of like a family member. Okay. 80, hi. And I got your name correct. I'm glad I asked you about that. Um, you're the first 80 I've ever met. I love it. It's beautiful. Um, okay, so I am running in the Fit Doc Strength Training group a 30-day reset, and I think it's going really, really well. And for those of you who don't know about it, we've been working this week on, well, the whole program is to do habit stacking. And basically, this first week is working on eradicating extra sugar in our diet and being abstinent from alcohol consumption. Because those two things in our body are super inflammatory and disruptive to so many processes. So I felt like that was a way to go in with a bang. And it's something we all can easily focus on, not drinking alcohol and just being mindful of our sugar intake. And sugar is really, really sneaky. It can end up in so many foods that we didn't even realize. So I think that my group is doing really, really well. Hi, Natasha. And I'm really, really proud of them. And, let's see, we started Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're 3 days in. And, tonight or around 6:30, 7:30, 8, that's like the witching hour, right? So the fact that some of you are here, sitting here is going to stop you from eating that sugar and stop you from reaching for that glass of wine. So I'm really, really glad you're here. Hi, Allie. Yay! I'm glad to have you here too. A couple of other things. For those of you who don't know, I do have t-shirts that I sell, and they're super cool logo. I'm really proud of the logo. I'm not a creative person, but one day it just like came to me and I'm like, "Ooh, that's really cool." So if you're interested in a t-shirt, let me know and I will show you how to order one. Allie being on here reminded me of that. She has one and I love when she wears it and tells me all about that. Um, Again, these are free classes. If you feel compelled to offer a donation, I do have a Venmo account. It's my full name, no spaces, and there's no amount too small. And honestly, no amount works too. I'm just glad you're here. Your presence is a gift to me, and this is kind of my mission. This is my purpose in this world to spread knowledge about health and wellness and kindness and joy and just be a positive energy. Speaking of that, one of the journal prompts in our program is, what are you grateful for? So I'm just going to steal another 1 minute of your time and tell you one little story today. So I like happenstance looked up a coffee shop because that's my thing. I love to go to new coffee shops. And I found this one called Biddy and Beau's Coffee Shop. And I didn't realize this and I didn't remember until I pulled up and I saw what it was all about. And I had seen this place on either it was the news or social media, like TV somewhere. And it was just like, oh, that's a really sweet story. So basically, what this coffee shop did was they hired, and the statistic is they have hired 250 people with disabilities to work at their coffee shop. So as soon as my big toe stepped into that place, I was greeted with the biggest, most energetic, hi, welcome in from the person running the cashier. And from that very moment, I walked in just like, ooh, a little pep in my step, and it was really beautiful. So I'm super grateful for whoever came up with that idea. Super grateful for the people who gave me my coffee today and just made my day brighter, and very grateful that I got to sit there and just relish in that whole environment. It was really beautiful and it gave me so much energy and inspiration for the day. The last thing I'm grateful for is just being an empath because I was able to feel it all, and just being able to feel that and be so sensitive to it is something I never knew was such a beautiful gift. And Ooh, I really I feel it as a gift. So, anyways, see, that's why I log on early because I can talk and gab. So tonight we're progressing a little bit more, and it's not going to feel like a huge big challenge because we're going to just tip our toes or dip our toes into what plyometrics would be like in terms of activating your core and pelvic floor. Because I know a lot of people want to, walk, go up and down stairs, laugh, like jump, like all these things that like increase intra-abdominal pressure very quickly. So your pelvic floor and your deep core need to react quickly. So adding speed and quick contractions is kind of our next level that we're going to work into. But as always, we are going to warm up. And for anyone who is newer to tonight, just follow along and I will guide you all. And if you are a veteran to the program, you just go at your own pace like we always do. So join me on your back with your knees bent. Hi, Denise. Another Denise. Hi, welcome in. We have 10 people in here. That's beautiful. Yay. All right, so on your back, we're going to start with our breathing warm up. So for those of you who are veterans, you know what to do. Ooh, big inhales, exhales, contracting, but I'm going to walk us through it. I'm going to show my belly off so you can see it. All right. So what I want you to do is relax everything. Big inhale. And as you inhale, you're going to send the air deep down into your belly, into your pelvic bowl. Let everything go. You have to relax. You have to be modest. You have to get big in this area. I know that's really hard to do, but big inhale and expand 360 degrees into that rib cage, forward, out to the side, into your back. Now, when you inhale, you do not want to be arching away. We don't want to have rib flaring. We want expansion in all directions. So your back actually will flatten a tiny, tiny bit with an inhale. It's very subtle. Big inhale, fill it up. And if you're struggling to not let your chest too much, you can put one hand on your chest, one on your belly, and you want to just send that air into your belly. Exhale all the air out. Big inhale. Now, next on your exhale, we're going to contract your pelvic floor and your deep core. Your exhale is when that system contracts together. Usually it's passive, but we're going to make it active. So on your exhale, you're going to do a Kegel or pelvic floor contraction. Deep core, pull that belly button in. Blow all that air out, really force it out through pursed lips. Inhale, expand. Exhale, pelvic floor, deep core. Ribs come down and in, pull it in. Good. Couple more. Inhale. We're warming up here, activating the system. Exhale, pursed lips, blow it all out. Pelvic floor, deep core. It's almost like on your exhale, you're wringing yourself out. Inhale. Exhale. Ella making her guest celebrity appearance here. Such a good girl. Okay, beautiful. So next we're gonna warm up your hips a little bit, get some mobility and rotation in your hips because we've talked about, you need mobility in the places that are mobile and stability in the places that are supposed to be stable. But when you don't have mobility in the mobile areas, you will get it in other places. So your hips need to be mobile. Feet are going to be nice and wide apart, wider than shoulder width. And then what you're going to do is rock them left and right. Get some really big motion going here. Mostly coming from the hip joint. Your lower back will lift and come up a tiny, tiny bit, but I really want you to think about the mobility coming from the hip, that ball and socket, rotating. Gosh, I love this one. Oh, it feels so good. And you can hang out on one side for a moment. Deep inhale into any tightness you're feeling. Relax, let it go. Exhale, normal. Inhale into your tightness areas. Exhale, let it go, and just keep rotating left and right. Oh, Ella's nose just got bonked by my knee because she's being very attentive here. No, it's because her elephant is behind me. Here you go, bub. Get it. Good girl. Okay, fantastic. We're going to go hands and knees and we're going to do our cat cow. It's such a beautiful stretch and mobility motion to get the mid back and rib cage moving. For those of you who cannot kneel, you can do it sitting. The sitting version is arching in both directions. But the cat cow, for anyone who can do hands and knees, your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips. You're going to exhale into cat, arching your back, pushing it away, drop your head down. Inhale into cow, lift that chin up as high as you can, stretch the front of your neck and chest. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Moving at your own pace. Really drop that spine between your shoulder blades. Oof, that's so good. Exhale. Pull that pelvic bone, that tail under. Inhale, cow. Lengthen, drop your spine between your shoulder blades. Keep going at your pace. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Okay, beautiful. Now what I need you to do is find somewhere close to a wall. I'm just going to use this for sake of convenience. But what I want you to do is you're going to get into a lunge position. Now you can either be with your knee on the ground or you can have it up. But what I want you to do is you're going to be against the wall. This back leg is pushing into the wall, and you're going to open up and rotate your arm and come back in. You're inhaling as you open up, exhaling and closing. Do 6 on this side. Now I'm against a wall, so you're really pressing into that wall to get rotation through your rib cage. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you have a question, I will check the comments in a moment. Then after 6, you're going to flip over to the other side. The front leg is the one against the wall. Okay. And you're pressing that gently into the wall. This arm is gently into the wall. Then you're opening up on your inhale, rotate through your rib cage. Woo. Exhale, close. Inhale, open up. Make sure your head and your eyes are following too. You want your whole spine to twist with it. And check the comments. Do 4 more. Hi, Karen. Yay, glad you're here. Okay, next, back on your back, knees are bent. We're gonna warm up with a little core and glute. The bridge, our favorite one, so classic, so great. Okay, feet are shoulder width apart, comfortable distance away from your butt, not too far, not too close, kind of in the middle, little Goldilocks action. What you're going to do is you're going to inhale. Get everything all set. Exhale, lift up. Squeeze your glutes. And during that lift, now don't overextend. We're not using your back. You're finding neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Everything's in line. Glutes are engaged. You're going to hold that. Pelvic floor is pulled in. And you're going to lift one foot up, then the other foot, and then lower down, hinging at the hip joint. Inhale, reset. Exhale, start pulling pelvic floor in. All the way up. March one leg up and the other. Now be very stable. Don't let your pelvis rock. Your goal is to be very stable. Lower down, hinging at your hips. Inhale, reset. Exhale, lift. Pelvic floor in, deep core, glutes. March one leg, then the other. Lower down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, pull it all in. March one leg up, then the other. Inhale, reset. Exhale, pelvic floor, deep core, glutes. March, march, and lower. Beautiful. All right. Let's have you roll onto your side, push yourself up to sitting, and then we're going to stand. We're going to get into some higher level things. We're going to go over our hip hinge because that's a really good technique to be able to do. Hang on, I need to raise you all up so you can see me a little better because we will be standing. Okay. Let's see if that is good. Not bad. Let's go a little higher. Okay. I think that'll do. Oh, hopefully you don't get seasick. Okay. So the standing hip hinge, really, really, really important to do and be able to actually for any kind of strength training workouts, you need to be able to hip hinge. So it's like a straight leg deadlift kind of, but the other thing I I like for people to envision is like, you know, that little drinking bird goes wah, wah, you're turning into a drinking bird. Now, remember the hip joint, the ball and socket right here is where you're getting your rotation. See how we're rotating that ball in that socket? Okay, think about that. And nothing above is moving. So your spine is locked in, your core is engaged. So what you're going to do here is you're going to inhale, sit your butt back really, really far. Now, be very careful about this and pay attention to your knees. Your knees can bend a little bit. They're actually soft in the knees, but they're not going to bend with you because then we're squatting. We're just doing a hip hinge. Okay, so if you need to, you can put one hand on your belly, one on your back, feel that stabilize, and then really think about your butt reaching back as far as you can behind you. Now, how do you know when to stop? You should feel the glutes really stretch and your hamstrings might be really, really stretched. Now, you want to be as equal as possible in your feet. Your weight is going to be a little bit more back on your heels, and that's okay. But you're getting a big lengthening happening in your glutes and your hamstrings. You're feeling that. And then on your exhale, you're squeezing your glutes to come all the way up, but you're not swinging through. Okay? We're stopping at neutral. So inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Now, I don't want you cranked up with your neck and I don't want it really far down. You want to have it neutral, and in line with your spine. So sometimes I like to tell people to gaze forward like 5 feet in front of them and then stay looking at that point. You should be feeling it in your glutes. Now, some people really struggle with this because it is a sleepy muscle. We have talked about how when we stand like this all the time, your glutes, they look like they're active, but they're not. You've created this like effect where your muscles can kind of turn off and you're just hanging out on your joints and ligaments. So you really want to get some good lengthening and feel that stretch in those glutes and the hamstrings, and then take the opportunity that those muscles are nice and lengthened and really squeeze them to come up. Okay? And another cue that really helps is remember the pelvis is the leader. It's going down and back, and now it's coming up and forward. So inhale, hinge down. Exhale, come back up. If you're feeling it in your back, make sure that you're really stabilizing through your spine and the movement is not coming from arching your back or tucking it under, okay? Neutral, doesn't move. The ball in the socket is where you're moving here. Okay, good job. All right, next one we're gonna do is, this one's kind of just a random one I thought would be great to do, is a wall push-up, because you have to push and pull on things in life. So I want to get us up and move, like up in an upright position where we can start doing movements like that. And it's going to challenge your core a little more. I'm just looking to see where's the best spot for me to show you a wall push up. I think right here. All right, I got to move you all again. Hang on. Wall push up. Do, do, do. Okay. Maybe not the best angle there. All right, hang on. We got this. I think that'll do. Okay, so find a wall space again, and your feet are the distance from the wall is as challenged as you want to be. So if you don't have the strength yet to really do a push-up, you want to be closer. But if you want to be challenged more, you're going to walk your feet away from the wall and play around with that distance. Okay. And then your hands, the distance should be about shoulder width apart. And then the top of your fingertips should kind of be in line with either your chin, your nose, or your eyes. And you can play around with that height too. So what you're going to do now is you're going to inhale, lower down, pinch your shoulder blades together, bring your head to the wall. Exhale, pull your core in, push away, and your chest muscles and your triceps are doing a lot of the work. So really tune into that. Now, be really careful about your elbows. You don't want them flaring really far out to the side. That's going to put a ton of strain on your shoulders. They want to be down at a 45-degree angle. So not out all the way up here and not all the way tucked under. So somewhere in between. Okay. So find that in between, lowering down on your inhale, pinching your shoulder blades together. Exhale, pelvic floor, deep core, push away. Shoulder blades are rounding away from the spine. Inhale, lower down, pinch the shoulder blades together. Exhale, separate the shoulder blades, pull your pelvic floor and deep core in. Now, you're stiff as a board through here, okay? It's like a plank. Nothing moves through here. So I don't want to see this arching motion as you're going down and up, okay? If you're arching, that means it's too hard and you want to be a little closer to the wall. It's a starting point. There's no judgment around this. There's no expectations. It's just a starting point for you to work from, okay? So grace for you. It's a starting point. Um, do 5 more of those, unless you're feeling very, very tired. And I'm going to check the comments while you guys continue working on that. No comments. That's good. Okay. I'll give you all another like 20 to 25 seconds here. Now, I'll just show you the progression from the wall push-up. Obviously, your feet moving away from the wall and getting like a little bit lower in a wall plank position is more challenging. But the next variation would be a hands and knees plank. Back in the day, they used to call them girl push-ups, but we don't say that anymore because girls are strong and we don't need to call a regressed modified push-up a girl push-up. It's called a modified push-up. So anyways, the way that you get into that is the same setup as the wall. So your hands are going to be directly under your shoulders, basically. Okay, so fingertips will line up basically with your nose. And then do not let your elbows flare out to the side. You tuck them in, not all the way in, kind of at a 45-degree angle. And then go right up into a regular plank real quick. Active through the shoulders, not collapsing down on them. So active through your shoulders. Drop your knees straight down. Okay. Then you're going to lift your knees or your feet up, sorry. And then you're going to lower down and then push back up. Inhale down, shoulder blades pinch together. Exhale, push up. Okay. So if you're feeling ambitious, that's your progression that you can work on. Okay. So next, let's get into the plyometrics and talk about how to control your core and your pelvic floor during higher impact things. So we're going to start really, really basic, like super basic. Okay. So stand up. Okay. So impact, really important because a lot of people will talk about, oh my God, I leaked when I jumped or when I stepped down from a step or anything that required a little bit of impact. So basically, we talked about this in the very beginning of our class that the pelvic floor and deep core are an anticipatory system. Okay. So already you're thinking about, I'm stepping off a curb. So that signal goes to your brain. Your brain's like, oh, well, I need to prepare for that so that we don't leak or something else happens. So it's already planning to engage and activate like milliseconds before you even do the action. So it's important that your core and pelvic floor react at that moment quickly. Like that's a quick contraction. So to start training that system, what we do is this is like when someone wants to return to running after having a baby too. We kind of do stuff like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up on your toes, and then it's going to look like a quick just drop down. Okay. You might need shoes. If you need a moment to go put your shoes on, please do. I will keep talking if you do need to do that. But if you feel comfortable with just kind of landing in your on your heels or whatever, then that's fine too. So you're going to inhale, exhale, contract, and like really contract as you land on your heels. Inhale, exhale, drop fast. You want that impact, but we're not coming off the ground. Okay. That's not yet. We're staying on the ground and really controlling our drop down quickly. But it's a hard impact. I want it to feel a little bit like, oh, okay. So, because you're going to feel that force go all the way up into you. Like I can feel that come all the way up to here. So practice that. Inhale, exhale, but contract pelvic floor and be intentional about it. Quick, fast flick contraction, as if you were going to like have an accident or a leak, like really, really contract it quickly. Now, don't hold it the whole time. The whole part of inhaling is preparing the system like a rubber band, lengthening and then contracting it quickly. Big inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Practice 5 or 6 more. Get a little calf workout. Now your knees are a little bit soft. The next one is going to be very soft knees, and it'll make sense when we do it. 3 more. Nice. Okay. So the next one is a little bit more dynamic. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to land in a squat. Okay. So it's like the same principle, but we're adding just more joint range of motion and muscle stretching and lengthening and control. So you're going to go down. Hang on. Let me think about how I want you to start. Do I want you to start up? Yeah. I think instead of just landing, you're going to land in a little bit of a squat. So it's kind of like breathe or like if you were to jump off something and you'd have to like really lower into it slow. So you're going to up on your heels, inhale, exhale, land in a squat. Come up normal. Inhale, land in a squat. So again, you're kind of like landing hard in the heels, but you're creating a shock absorption by cradling yourself down into a squat. So inhale up, exhale, land in a squat. So I know this is a little different than when we're strength training squat separately and in a more controlled way, but this is working on impact. So we're changing the pattern a little bit where the exhale is on the down. And I know it's always, I say exhale on the exertion, but the force is happening when you're landing. So inhale up, exhale, drop into a squat. Now, if this is too much on your joints and your knees, hold on to something because holding on to something will take a little stress off of it. Inhale up, exhale, land in a squat. Inhale up, land in your squat. Again, we're creating impact, so make sure you're really dropping in. Inhale up, exhale, two more. Inhale up, inhale up, exhale, land. Nice. Okay, good. You're going to be ready for those plyometric classes, or if you want to get back into running, skipping, jumping. Speaking of that, the next thing we're going to do is little hops or jogging in place. Okay. So basically, there's no way that you're going to think about contract, 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 contract when you're out running. So, what I just want you to do is be mindful of your core and your posture so that everything aligns and you have the best efficiency in the system while you're hopping or jogging in place. So, a little hop would just be like, and what you can do is kind of tune into, like, okay, what is my pelvic floor doing? Am I squeezing it constantly? Am I relaxing? Am I able to hold? What's happening? So when people run, I'll jog in place. Sometimes I end up really crouched forward like this. How the heck can you contract or use your core if you're really forward? Or they're really flared out like this. Again, lengthening and can't control. So posture during your activities of like running or participating in a high intensity class, your posture is so important. You don't want to end up like this when the ribs flaring. You don't want to be super crunched over. You want to find that neutral posture. So keep hopping, take a break when you need, and you can be as small in your hops as you need to. Like barely coming off the ground, you can jog in place. Jogging in place like this is creating unilateral landing. It's a little more challenging for the system compared to two legs with absorption, shock absorption. Okay, now I'm warmed up. Shoot. So that's kind of how we initiate training and preparing your core and your pelvic floor for plyometric things. You know, when you want to run and keep up with your kids or your grandkids, if you want to jump, if you want to like get back into certain kind of training, if you want to be confident in it. Um, yeah, starting really, really basic and breaking down the motion is really helpful for your core and your pelvic floor. I swear I'm not out of breath. Ooh. Um, yeah, that was fun. That was cool to like finally get to that level with you all. Like that's big. Um, it is 7 o'clock, and I feel like we packed in a lot of stuff there. I hope that that was helpful. In the comments, let me know what you thought about if you're comfortable with opening up and sharing, like what you felt in your body when you were doing the hops or the jogging in place. Like if there's anything that stood out. If you like have never even thought about that area during motions like that, that's a completely legitimate thing too. Um, Gosh, I'm saying a lot tonight. My what was I gonna say? My public speaking teacher in no, I took it at UNH, freshman year of college, would be very disappointed in my ums. Oh man, that was a tough class. Oh my gosh. As a freshman in college, like so nerve-wracking. I think I could do way better now, but I have like 17 years on 18-year-old Kayla at this point. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, life is cool. when you go back and reflect on where you were and how far you've come. And it's really, really cool. That's why in my 30-day reset, it's challenging to fit this in at the end of the evening because you're tired and your brain is just whatever. But like journaling and having prompts, I think can provoke some really cool thoughts. So my challenge for them tonight was, or this week, the first prompt of the week was write three things you're grateful for. And I feel like that's a really nice one moving into November and, Thanksgiving's coming up. Might be something you all can use tonight too to think about. Let's see. Natasha, you liked it. That's cool. Yeah, it was interesting, right? Just kind of tuning in during that. And then Emily, you're welcome. So glad you were in here. Yay. Have fun. Yeah, seven of you. That's fantastic. I think at one point I saw 10 little eyeballs. I'll stay in here for another, you're welcome, Denise. I'll stay in here for another 2 minutes and then I'm gonna go eat some chicken and sweet potato fries and lettuce and have some tea and maybe watch a little nutrition education thing I'm doing. It's a little training certification. Um, Oh my gosh, Natasha, that's amazing. I'm going to read that out loud. Natasha says, I've honestly noticed a huge improvement in so many aspects of my body since starting this class. My heart. I'm so grateful for you. More gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. That means so much to me. Honestly, if I can make an impact on one person and they feel that way, like that's progress for the world and my mission and my purpose. So, yay. Tell your friends. Get them in here. Let's have more people joining. It'd be so fun. Um, yeah. So next week we'll continue building on this, and that'll be class 11 of 12, and that'll bring us so close to Thanksgiving. Um, Brenda says, the first thing I was grateful for is you. I would have never done this without you. Thank you so I don't deserve you girls. Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you so much. Maybe I'm hormonal. Oh, thank you. Gosh, I'm tearing up. I'm not afraid of that. Actually, like I said, my gratitude at the beginning of this was part of my gratitude towards myself is just being an empathetic, sensitive person. So I feel that deeply, and I appreciate all words that you share with me. Wow. Well. If you need anything, you all know how to get a hold of me. Please don't be shy. Ask questions, share. I'm sure someone else has a similar question, has gone through something you're going through, wants to hear, what you're going through and support you. So, the more we share, the more we improve. Um, Natasha says, I'm so grateful. Issues I've struggled with for so long and I felt so embarrassed by. I finally feel like I have so much. Ooh, finally have so much more control of my body. You're such a beautiful and special human being, and I am so grateful for the light you embody and share. Stop. I don't deserve you, girls. Thank you so much. Dang it. All right. Gratitude for all of you. My sign off is always be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Take care.